Hey everyone, welcome. We've had a couple of weeks now since the ending of football season, and for 14 weeks, every Tuesday night, we brought you the Coach Tyler Vann show. Coach Vann is we wanted to give him a couple of weeks to relax and spend some time. And Coach Vann, we want to welcome you back in, and first of all, congratulate you on the successful season. And Howie and I were talking, and you played 7 playoff teams. You played 3 teams that made it to the semifinals. You played 2 teams that made it to the finals. You certainly played a schedule that you know exactly what it takes to win a state title next year or the next year or whenever it comes.
Yeah, our guys, and they fought all the way through it, and they saw really good competition, and it made us better. Made us better as a football team. I think our guys got better as the year went on. They're supposed to. They did a really good job of it. So we're looking forward to this season, making us better in the future. Last year our seniors did a really good job of getting us to the playoffs, and we played a really good Piedmont team. We went over and won the state championship last year, and these seniors this year took us another step closer, and we're on our way. We just got to continue to get better. And this off season, I told them it doesn't matter. This past year doesn't matter anymore. As far as next year goes, we got to put in all new work. We got to get better and get ready to go for next year, and that's something we're starting tomorrow. So we're excited about that.
And it is, for the folks that are not involved in football, it is that clean. It's over. Next year starts tomorrow. And Coach, at what point do you have the junior, sophomores, and freshmen that were on that team kind of start moving into senior, junior, and sophomores and transitioning into that role of leadership?
Yeah, I called the juniors, seniors the next day, actually, the next Monday. We got to move on. We hate to see them seniors go. I love them 4 guys, and I think a lot of all 4 of them and what they brought to this program, and we're going to miss all 4 of them. All 4 of them have brought something different to the table, and we're going to miss everything they brought. And I'm not one of them coaches that's ever excited to see seniors leave. It's never going to be better next year in my eyes. We got to be good this year, and these seniors have done a really good job of doing that. Why does that? I think more than anything, I'm gonna miss seeing them and being around them just as much as coaching them. And they're really good kids, and they're gonna grow up to be really good adults. And I'm excited to see what they do in their futures. And then with our football team, them young guys, we've got to start. We're starting tomorrow. It's not going to be full on off season workout yet. We're kind of just going to get back into. We just took 1 week off there. We've been in season mode for 14 weeks now, so we're kind of working towards that off season mode, but we can't jump on the chart yet. So we're working to start in January because we're about to have 2 weeks off here. Just open weight room, not mandatory throughout Christmas break. So we'll be ready to start the chart probably in January, but we're excited about the off season. I've already heard the kids talk. They're ready to get to work. And, we got a bunch of guys that are in season other sports, which is a good thing. I want them to play every sport. Regardless of what sport it is, I want them to play it. And when they're in basketball, they're basketballs. When they're in baseball, they're baseballs. And when they're with me, they're mine. So I still count them as mine, even though they're playing another sport. I'm going to be there watching them. But we just don't see them in our off-season weight program. But that's fine. We want them, like I said, I want them to play basketball, and I want them to play baseball or whatever sport it is, because you only get to go through high school one time. You shouldn't have to focus on one sport if you don't want to. So I'm excited about seeing them this year as well, and excited about seeing the growth of our younger guys.
I'll turn it to you after this question, but Coach, I was reflecting on this year, and it's something I do every year when I finish a project, and I was thinking about what we've accomplished this year. The one thing that I leave besides your team playing incredible football, I think the community got to know 4 outstanding seniors and 4 outstanding young men through this media, and I hope to do the same next year. But even they grew up a little bit doing the show and stuff. And that first week it was rough getting something out of them. By the end of it, they were great. They were trying to take Howie's job, but it was unique to see them grow up even in that form during the year.
Yeah, they did, and I've got to see them grow for 2 years now. And like I said, I hate to see them go. I could sit here and tell you many reasons why I hate to see them go, and I'm gonna hate graduation night. I'm gonna hate seeing them leave the school. They're four good young men, and
Absolutely.
they're going to do great in their communities in the future, whatever community they end up in. They're going to do great for wherever they end up. They're going to be good household leaders one day, and I'm proud to say I coached them four young men.
Four young men that kind of had a grip on what they wanted to do in the future too. Howie, you want to touch a little on the football end? Go ahead.
Coach, Piedmont, to me, I feel like your defense played pretty well as far as on the back end. It's just when you're going against Hayes, he was putting the ball right on the dime, right where the players were at. I'm going to say probably on 90% of the plays, your defensive backs were where they needed to be at. Am I overlooking something?
No, our DBs played a lot better than they did. The previous game, it don't show, but they did play better. We just Jack Hayes made some really good plays, and we got after them and tried to blitz some guys and get after them. We switched it up, tried to play some zone, and it was just really tough because you back off of them, you give up 5-yard hitches, you play up on them, you're giving up or am I still there?
Yeah, you're there.
You back off of them, you give up, like I said, a hitch, and you press up. You don't give them a fade look, which you make them make a perfect ball if you can stay in phase. And we tried both of them. We tried to load the box a little. We tried to be light in the box a little. There's a lot of answers that we tried that we thought could help us, but Jack Hayes and Coach Smith of Piedmont did a really good job of answering back, and we tried to curve them multiple ways. There's a bunch of people who probably could have called a defensive game and thought they could have done better, but on that night, the way Jack Hayes was playing, it wasn't made. It don't. We could have put him in light in the box and he'd have lined up and ran it right at us, and we could have loaded the box and he's gonna throw it over us. Anyways, I thought Coach Clark did a really good job with the game plan. Kids tried to execute it. We've had a 51-21. We're bad sick all day that day. I think they threw up most of the day, and then they didn't even ride the bus down there with us. They rode with SEALs, and then so they were bad sick. 21 played sick. He gave everything he had. But it wasn't Leo, and Ashton surely wasn't Ashton, but it took a lot of grit to play through that, and I was proud of them for playing through what they were going through there. And we just came up short against a really good football team. And I told our guys, you got to hold your head high. We got to get better for next year, but be proud of what you accomplished, and let's move on. So, but I'm proud of the guys, and you're right. It was just Jack Hayes was on. So,
yeah, me and John was doing the game on the radio, and we said countless amount of times Jack Hayes was putting the ball where most quarterbacks on Sunday couldn't even put the ball at. I mean, it was just pinpoint perfect passes. And I thought your defensive backs played a great game. It's just that they played great, but he put the ball right there where the receivers were wanting it at.
Yeah, Seven's good. I'm glad he's a senior. He's a winner. Like I said, I enjoy watching him play. I don't like coaching against him, but I enjoy watching him play. I enjoyed watching him in a state championship game. He played a really good game. He hurt his hand early in the game, but he was still able to throw it. And Piedmont did a really good job, and just had some breaks that didn't go their way there in the second half, but they was leading by 10 early. So, Piedmont's a really good football team, coached really well. I think one of the best coaches in the state of Alabama.
Probably underrated, and I hate to say this about Coach Smith, but when you talk about the best coaches in the state, his name doesn't come up as much as it should. I mean, he's that level, been doing it for a long time, and won a lot of football games.
He has. There ain't many going to be able to do what he's done. So, you look at our schedule. was able to coach against three really good football. I mean, they're all good football coaches, but three that's already got the records and three that's already won a lot of big ball games. Dale Pruitt and Coach Benefield and Coach Smith, three coaches that's won a lot of football games, and it's an honor to coach against guys like that and learn from guys like that, because you may not call them and talk to them and learn from them, which I call Coach Smith and Coach Benefield and talk to them and try to learn from them, but you can learn stuff just from watching film as well. So three really good football coaches, and the two that I talk to, I'm really proud that they allow me to talk to them and learn from them, because they're really good football coaches. And I know you got to hang around good football coaches and talk to good football coaches if you want to be one. So,
Now,
Hall of Fame coaches. All three of them, I believe, are in the Alabama State Hall of Fame already. Go ahead, Howie.
Offensively, you did a great job. You just made a few mental mistakes, jumping offside or false starts, and it put you behind the chains. And that's something we've talked about all season long, is when you get behind the chains or behind progress, it's hard for y'all to get caught back up.
Yeah, we're way different on offense this past year than we was when Brody Smith and Sawyer Hughes and Styles and a bunch of them guys were here a year ago, where we threw it around a lot, and we didn't throw it as much. We relied on the run game more this past year. In my opinion, when you do that, you really need to stay on schedule. There's third and longs is not good for anybody, but we were more apt to come up with a third and long a year ago than we was this past year. So, because we was able to throw a little better. But 9 come a long ways, and 9 played really good. I thought against Piedmont, he threw some good balls. We just, they were playing man coverage. I thought Josh Scott did a really good job playing through some injury. He's still hurt now, playing through some injury with his back and going up making a bunch of plays for us. And Landon Watkins did pretty good for us. We got to do a better job of staying on side, man. But look, when we hard count, a lot of times it's freeze, like there's no play. So we just got to do a better job of understanding that in the future. Guys are just amped up, ready to make a play. I get it. You're down, you're ready to go, but you don't even know what you're running yet, so there's no reason to move. But there's multiple corporates throughout the entire year that had that happen to them. But I'm really proud of everybody who played, everybody on our team against. We got to continue to get better throughout this off season.
So something I've wanted to ask all season long, but I didn't want to, because I didn't want to look ahead, make people think that I was looking ahead. And you've said many times about the team being injured a lot and everything. You had some young players to step up. And how much is that going to help you this coming season with all these younger players getting experience maybe a year before the year's anticipating?
It should help a lot. We've got older guys that are ready to go. So like Zach Anderson, we played 12 weeks without him. And he's a guy that brings a lot of juice for us. He's a really good football player. He plays the game the right way. He plays a game that I like. He talks a little smack. He does things that, you can't teach. He just has that demeanor about him. He carries himself the correct way. And we missed him this year, but he did a really good job on the sideline of motivating guys and staying in it. But we missed Roman McKeon for most of the year. We missed Drandon Townsville for a lot of the year. We missed a few. Kyle Shankles missed a good bit. We had a lot of younger guys that got a lot of reps, and guys that wasn't even on Friday nights that I think is going to be a huge help next year, like Seth Ledford, who was practicing better throughout the year. Seth Klein, who ended the year the right way, on offense and defensive line. Really, defensive line gave us a lot of trouble on scout team at the end of the year. I've already told him, we need you to play next year. He's done a really good job to end the year. He's a big old kid, and I think he's starting to figure some things out. So I'm really proud of how he finished. And even like that, guys that didn't get a lot of playing time, if any, throughout the year, just getting better on scout team and in practice, man. We got a few that's getting closer and closer to being able to play, which can help us have some guys resting on each side of the football. So I'm excited about that. Landon Watkins got some playing time when Zach got hurt. He became a starting H, and it helped him. So just getting playing time for younger guys, because every time you start a freshman, we had Landon, Travis, We had numerous freshmen that was playing a lot of minutes. They say every freshman that starts is a loss, and I think we had three freshmen that started, and if you four counting Andretti as kicker, I think that's it. That's four. But we're going to get better, and I'm excited, like you said, about these younger guys getting reps, and we're losing four good seniors. I feel like we're getting one back when we get Zach Henderson back. It feels like we're getting one of them guys that we hadn't had in a long time back, which is big for us and then big for them guys in that locker room because they all look at Zach as a leader. So a lot of positives going into next year. We just got to continue to get better.
Back to Piedmont real quick. I'll be remiss by not saying something about Andretti kicking that field goal to get you on the board first time, 20-something yard field goal. It looked like it could have been good from about 40. It seemed like he was fired up being able to kick a field goal.
Yeah, and that's something we're going to be able to do more of next year, I think. I feel comfortable with him when we get inside the 25, really inside the 20. I feel really good about it. So something that I think we're going to be able to do when we get inside the 25 and 30 next year because his legs getting stronger. It's nice to know as a play caller that you're going to be able to get in there and you have a really good opportunity of getting 3 points. Kind of changes how you call the game in some aspects. So, Andretti's come a long ways. I'm really proud of him and how he works and the time he puts into it. So,
Randy, you got anything for him?
Yeah, Coach Andretti maybe be the most asked about player from the team. I get more texts and comments about him than anyone. So I'm going to throw this. I was going to ask this, but you left me an open here. As he grows, sophomore, junior, senior year, does he change your mindset where you're in 4-down territory and where you're going to start kicking the ball over time?
yes. Yeah. I think he's going to be a guy when you get inside the 35-30 that you feel like you'll have an opportunity to get 3 points, and then he'll be automatic inside of 20. So, and then kickoff changes a huge – it's huge too if you can kick it through the end zone, and the other team's got to drive 80 every time you score. So, that's a huge asset for this football team, and we're really proud of him and happy that he's on our team and he's our guy.
Coach, have you I know you're on the field with the 8th grade team sometimes, but losing 4 seniors, what do you have coming to the varsity next year?
We'll
Project a little bit, but what are they going to be on the field sometime down the road?
We'll have 8 or 9 guys that's going to be moving up, I think, and that number could grow or it could go down. You never know. So hopefully all of them show up and are ready to go. But we have some guys in that younger group that's going to help us a lot next year. I don't know if on Friday nights necessarily yet. Always looking for younger athletes that's going to be able to help us on special teams that can spell guys, that are older guys can get them off the field to play or something. But I got some guys I could talk about that we're excited about. Matthias Dukes is a guy who's a really good athlete that's done a really good job on that younger group that's grown up a lot. He may be a guy. He's got the body type now that potentially could help us on Friday nights. We just got to see how he matures and grows up over the next year. And we got some guys in that younger group that's going to be really good in a couple of years, I think, that's going to really help us. So I know I'm excited about I'm always excited about getting them freshmen up and seeing them grow up because you'll see a lot of growth in them between their freshman and sophomore, junior year. So.
Can I ask a quick question while we're talking about new players and all that? Since this run that you had to the semifinals, have you had more players or more people wanting to come out and play?
I had 2 come up today actually and asked. So I guess so. We sometimes we may lose 1 or 2. We may have 1 or 2 that move schools. I don't know. That's hearsay, but we just this is hard. Football's hard and winning's hard, and it's like I told them in a team meeting just a few days ago. Like we just want a team full of players that all they care about is a W. That's it. That's all you care about. And if that ain't all we care about is each other and getting wins, not pointing fingers, not caring who messes up, not caring who does right. Just 11 guys, 22 guys, I don't care how many it is. We just want a team full in that locker room that care about each other and care about winning football games. And I think we have that right now, and I think we'll continue to get better. But it takes a lot of hard work to win football games, especially in our region, especially in our classification. We got a bunch of guys that have to play both ways in 3A, just like 2A, just like 1A. I think 4A is when you start having, a little bit better. It's unless you're 3A and you have a lot of kids, but we're not one of them yet. And I think we're doing a better job. I think we're going to be there where we can two platoon a little bit more and have guys that can play one way maybe. But we do have, to answer your question, though, we got two new guys that come up nice today, so I was excited about that. I always want I don't know if they'll stay out and don't know. It's hard, I'm telling you. And so a lot of people sign up really not knowing what it's about, but I hope they stay out. I hope they love it. It takes a special breed to be a football player.
And there's probably kids that could help you if they come to the football program with the right attitude. And you've mentioned a couple of kids, Leo, for example, that really only played varsity for 2 years and became huge parts of this team.
Yeah, that was Koger.
Koger.
Yeah, Koger. It's important, man. We want guys, and I tell them all the time. There's a bunch of guys out there. There's a few guys in that school I feel like could really help us, and I've tried, and I'm not one to beg, so I'm not going to continue to. I begged my first year to get guys out, but we'll have. You can sign up all the way to January through January, so or to January when we start our off-season workout. So I want guys to come out and play. I want you to say, "Hey, coach, I'm going to play," and But at the end of the day, if you ain't willing to put in the work, at the end of the day, you're probably not going. You'll end up quitting me eventually, and that's part of it. We lose some really good ones, and we gain some really good ones. And I don't care how good of a player you think you are. If you're willing to put in the work, football teaches you more than just if you're on the field on Friday nights. Football teaches a lot about life. And there was a bunch of guys this year that we're going to be recognizing, at the banquet that did get a lot of playing time, but without them, we wouldn't have won the games we won because it takes everybody on that team making each other better to be successful. Young guys, freshmen, sophomores, and I'm really proud of them. And when I say it, everybody in that locker room, I mean it. They all bring something to the table that the next one don't. So, anyways.
Well, speaking of the banquet, we're working on a deal to have Jason Corbin there and doing some videoing and then do a show afterwards. Maybe have some more fresh faces on here and continue this going. I have 2 questions and we'll wrap it up. Howie, I don't know if you've got anything. The first question, Coach, is last summer you agreed to do this little journey with Howie and I. It's hard to get on here, win or lose, every week and just speak plain. What have you learned from the journey of doing this little show weekly? Win, lose, good, bad. You've been here every week.
I've learned a little bit, man. I've learned I get mad. I've learned that when I see myself, I get a little bit more mad than I think I do at practice, and it carries over. When my wife says it carries over to the house, I'm starting to believe her sometimes. It's just, but we do. I learned a lot about, it's tough to answer questions sometimes after a loss, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes. It's about learning from them and getting better. So I've really enjoyed it. I know the kids have really enjoyed it, and look forward to doing it in the future.
The old man enjoys it too. I know one old man and another old man has had a lot of fun. The other question, it'll be my last question, Coach. We'll get the schedule of off season laid out. Of course, we're going to do something after the banquet. We'll do something as spring gets here. We'll do monthly updates. But at what point will Coach Vann sit down with his play sheets, with his film, with what he did in 2020 and what he did with 2021 and start building his offense for 22? Or will it be till you get them on the practice field that you'll go, okay, I feel like this year you started running the ball more just because your personnel was better. Did you have that plan early this year, or was it something the team just matured into?
I think we had that plan early. We ended up being more 12 personnel than I thought we were going to end up being. And it hurt us at times throughout the year. We played Pisgah straight 11 personnel, and that wasn't even our best personnel group. And 12 was by far our better personnel group. And then, we played some teams in Geraldine early in the year where we got stuck in 11 personnel because of injuries. So we ended up 12 personnel more. We ran the ball, fairly well, especially in the playoffs. We was able to run, buck and counter a lot better in the playoffs. We rushed for 800 or over 1,100 yards in 3 games. We're going into the, Piedmont game. So we were definitely run heavy this year, and next year I've already started looking ahead and, with the personnel we got and the athletes that we're going to have, it's important that, if 12 personnel takes a couple guys off the field that I think can help us. So it could be something where we're more 10 personnel, a lot more with 2 and, Aiden's ready to run the football. And so I'm excited about it, man. I love offense, and I love finding ways to score the football. And we're going to have some guys that we need to get the ball to next year, and we're going to have to find ways to get them the football and get them the football in space. And it's a luxury to have the guys that we have and have a guy or 2 that we can hand it to that we're going to have. So I'm excited and look forward to it. Look forward to see the maturity of our defense. We should be way better on defense than even we were this year, and we wasn't bad. So I'm excited about the whole thing. So.
Well, Coach, I will tell you, I only suggested 1 play all year. So I'm going to increase to 2 next year. So I'm going to give you 2 play suggestions next year. For every year we do it, I'm at least going to throw 1 in there. So that's my goal. Howie Chaney, we also got some things working where if Sylvania's not on Southern Torch, they'll be here on River City Media with you and John Seals. Exciting stuff coming. Do you have anything to close out with Coach Vann? Because I know he's put his time in with us this year. I feel like he's on OT.
I just want to ask him, as far as let's change the speed of the game real quick. How about the national championship? What's your prediction on the final 2 games?
Georgia wins the Natty.
Yeah.
And TCU plays Georgia in the Natty, just because TCU's going to get a lot of hate between now and then. And I think that plays a lot into TCU's fuel. TCU's not a bad team. I'd love to see Bama get in, but at the end of the day, he lost 2 football games. And so it is what it is. And TCU's deserving of it. And hopefully they go out there and prove it. But Michigan, I'm going to pick TCU 1 because I hope they win, mainly is why. So I think they will. Michigan's pretty good. Michigan may beat them, but I just don't like Michigan. I don't like them at all. So I'm not a huge Jim Harbaugh fan. So I'm going to go with TCU, and then I'm going to go with Georgia. I think it's just the best football team in the nation this year, and they're going to win it. Now, would I like to see Georgia get beat? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Absolutely. I'd like to see just TCU win it. That'd be nice. I'm going to pick the underdog of the whole thing because nobody wants to see Ohio State win.
Amen.
Nobody wants to see Michigan win.
Amen.
And then I don't want to see Georgia. So I'm just picking the favorites. Georgia's going to win it, but I'm rooting for TCU all the way through.
Coach, it's been a fun year, and it's going to be even a funner year next year. We'll get rolling around spring football. Or what point will you get next year's schedule finalized, and we'll get it out and start publicizing it and publicizing it? Oh, that's definitely not a word. We'll start spreading it out. So
it should be. I could post it tomorrow. It's the same schedule flipped. We're at home this year. We're away.
We got it. We can handle it from there. All right, Coach. You go spend some time. I know you got things to do today, and we appreciate you finishing up the season. And do we know when the football banquet is yet, or are we still in
January 29th?
All right, so we will definitely be here the week after that. And
Y'all
then
need to make sure y'all are there.
we will do our that would be awesome. And then we'll probably do first of every week, every month, just with some updates with Coach Vann. And then as we get into July and August, we'll get rolling into weekly shows. And thank you, Coach, and I sure have appreciated. Thank you, JT and KC Holmes, for our support this year too. Howie, any final words from you?
No, Coach, been great. Thanks for sharing a lot of stuff with us, and tell Miss Hannah thanks for letting you do this as far as spending time away from her, and just tell the players thanks for letting for them coming on and being with us, and the coaches as well. And hopefully next year we can get some more of the coaches on, except for Coach Wilson. We can't have two Tennessee guys on at one time.
Hey, Wilson's a smart fella. Coach Wilson, you ought to listen to him a little more, Coach Vann. Thanks from you, Coach Vann.
Yeah. No, thank you, guys. I'm sorry I didn't hear you. No, thank you guys for what y'all did this year. I know our players, I appreciate it. Our community appreciates you. Thank you guys for all you do. You could be doing a million other things, surely, besides talking to Coach Vann and supporting Sylvania Rounds. But we do appreciate you guys and the publicity that you give our players and our student athletes. And I know they appreciate it. Like I said, I appreciate it. Thank you guys. And we look forward to the future. So
next year we'll be back. Look for us in January with a special edition. Everybody have a happy holiday. Follow us, like us, and we'll see you soon.